Hello and welcome back to Anti-Depressing. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy to Lexapro, and this is just going to be a brief intro to our episode this week. So we recorded our episode Thursday morning, briefly before the news dropped that The Bachelorette is canceled for this season. Super insane. We have been thinking about talking about this story pretty much the entire day, off and on with each other. Chanel couldn't hop on tonight because she already had things going on, but we just wanted to come on and give like a quick blurb because in this episode, we do talk about kind of the stuff unfolding with Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and how we're just kind of in disbelief that they're moving forward with the season and how they really need to like get mental health checks on the people that are coming on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, which is seen further with the content that came out. We have a lot of thoughts about the timing of this video coming out. For those of you who are just kind of checking in on this story and don't know what's going on, Taylor Frankie Paul from Mormon Wives was scheduled to be the Bachelorette. They just were about to release her season starting this Sunday, so 2 days from now, and just canceled it. So they pulled it off the air, even though everything's done, finished, about to go and be on national television. And the reason that they pulled it at this time is because of a video that just leaked from a domestic violence incident from 2023. So if you've watched Mormon Wives, you know that in 2023, Taylor Frankie Paul was arrested. That body cam footage from the cop is shown in the first ever episode of Mormon Wives. So season 1, episode 1, you can watch it there. And so we already knew about this. Everything is written up in the document. She pleaded guilty to it, but nobody's ever seen the body cam footage, which Dakota, her ex-boyfriend, used in his case against her when they went to court in 2023. And so he just sold it to TMZ seemingly today, Thursday morning. And I think partly they are in obviously a very toxic, abusive relationship. This has now kind of destroyed this Bachelorette opportunity. It's just kind of crazy that ABC even signed her to begin with, knowing that this was all already public knowledge. Like they obviously read all of the court documents saying that she pleaded guilty to all the things that are shown in the video. So it begs the question whether they were just hoping nobody would ever see more information about this or people were just kind of moving past it. I think a lot of us did. I don't think about the show and immediately think about the domestic violence incident in 2023, but now that's all that's in front of everybody. So it's a really crazy time. We are keeping both of them in this insane situation in our prayers, and crazy that we just won't have a season of The Bachelorette. So let us know what you guys think of this. Obviously, this is an unfolding story, and so we are continuing to watch and stay updated. Most importantly, prayers for the safety of the children. It seems that Taylor just really needs mental health help, and so does Dakota. And so prayers that they're getting that and that the children are safe, most importantly. But really just the most insane timing of ever. So yeah, we just want to let you know about all of that breaking news before you go ahead and listen to the episode. And we'll continue to keep you in the loop and keep chatting about the importance of seeking mental health help, even if you're a celebrity, sometimes especially if you are, and just the need to get out of toxic cycles. So that's all on that, and I hope you enjoy the episode. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy
to Lexapro. Hello, friends. Yay! We're back. And you might be wondering where we're back from. Well, it was a fantabulous cruise. And so we had the time of our lives. And we are just overflowing with gratitude for our time together with our favorite co-host, Juliana, as well. And so we just wanted to share just a little bit about our cruise and hopefully inspire for those girlies that are listening that are like, I wonder, I've always wanted to go on a trip with my friends. this might just be your
Do
nudge
it.
to just go for it and just do it. So,
That's so true.
yeah. So, Jasmine, I would actually love for you to kick us off. So, we started the cruise. I don't know where you want to start. I don't know if you want to start on
I
us getting on
know.
the wrong bus.
Should we done a
Um,
whole vlog?
yeah, like where do you want to start? Getting on the wrong bus or actually walking onto the ship? You feel free to start.
You know what? I think that we should start where all good stories start, which is the hardest part, which was the drive to the port, which was supposed to take 3.5 hours. That took 5. It was really crazy. So many car accidents. We were praying the whole time for
Mm.
ourselves, for everyone that was affected. It was really the wildest drive. And so we finally made it to the cruise port and we're like praising the Lord. It's already exciting to go on a vacation. It's even more exciting when the drive there feels like we would just might not make it on this vacation, you know? Um, so that was amazing. Chanel is our resident cruise expert. She has gone on multiple before. And so it was fun to kind of see her world, if you will. Um, the entire cruise was flawless, fabulous. We spent time in the sun. We spent time as girls, just girls being girls.
Mhm.
And it was amazing. We spent time in the ocean, on the beach. There's not enough time on this episode or maybe in life to summarize what it means to spend that much time with your girlfriends as an adult when like that's just not normally how
That
life
is just
goes.
not
So
normally how life goes. I
so it was
feel like
beautiful.
oh, I agree, and I feel like the most important part is that when we started the cruise, we did rage,
Oh my
until
gosh.
7:30
You know
PM.
what?
And then we did go back to our room with full resolve to wake up, um,
For
at
adult
10 for
karaoke.
adult karaoke, and we did sleep for 12 hours.
12
So,
hours, which
yeah.
I that would be my biggest recommendation to an adult who's going on a vacation. Your first night should be a 12-hour plus sleep, so then you
Mhm.
can actually have the energy to have a good vacation. It was a flawless plan that we didn't even come up with for ourselves, like, that was the Lord's will, and it was a great 12 hours of sleep that really launched us into being able to be awake the next night for karaoke. It was perfect.
It was perfect, and honestly, it did keep us going the entire time. I felt rejuvenated after waking up for 12 hours. We all woke up, um, we slept from 8 until 2 AM, woke up, had a full conversation, then went back to sleep until 8 AM, and honestly, it was iconic. We all just, like, really locked in to just
Yeah,
going back to sleep. Nobody fought
as we
anyone
should.
else. Nobody said,
No.
"Maybe we should get up and walk around." People just said, "Okay, I guess it's, like, absolutely time to just lock this back in." So, honestly, and if that's not going on a cruise as an adult, I don't know what is. So, that was so fun. A few highlights for me were, 1, adult karaoke, which we will post a video of Juliana, killing a rendition of Mr.
Oh my
Brightside.
gosh, so
Um,
true.
yeah, so she killed that. That was a highlight for me. Second
So true.
highlight for me was all the food that we ate. We
Oh
ate
my
so
gosh.
much food. We had the best, probably, soft serve ice cream I have had ever. It was so
Yeah,
good. Like, the vanilla soft serve was
amazing.
perfect.
It was.
So, it was so good. And then the third one was honestly just the last night, when Juliana ordered an insane amount of room service, at, like, 9 PM after we had mutually decided that we were all gonna go to sleep. And then we just stayed up and ate pizza and beef bolognese and a steak
And the
quesadilla. And
and
it was
chocolate chip cookies.
and
It
chocolate
was
chip cookie.
absurd.
It was pretty intense. So those
Yeah,
were my highlights.
I like that. I think
Yeah,
those were perfect moments.
thank you. And so, yeah, so if this is encouragement for anyone, go on a cruise with your friends. This is God telling you to do it. As
That's
in,
so
I
true.
am
You
not
deserve
God,
it.
but I am God's handmaid. So go on a cruise. Jasmine, I know that the cruise is how we are both doing. We're both recovering.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say.
And honestly, we're coming like it's like on a retreat when you're on a plateau after the retreat. I feel
It's
like
so true. This is who I am now. You know, like,
it's who
that
I
will
am
always
now.
be part of me.
Yeah. And we know that we had fun too, because like about halfway through the cruise, we started talking about other cruises that we can go on. So
Oh, yeah.
honestly,
We have a
yeah,
list.
we have a list.
It's
We're
gonna
we're
be crazy.
taking Jasmine's husband. At some point we're gonna
Not
take the kids on one. It's just the
we
world
have
is our oyster.
I
So
know.
yeah, so we can't wait.
Cruise lines are
Um
gonna hate to see us
they're
coming.
gonna
We
hate to see us coming. They're gonna hate to have us in their
have our
rooms
money.
and have our and know that we are just sleeping for
Wait, you
14
forgot to
hours.
say the craziest part is
Okay.
that we got put in a handicap room,
Oh,
and so it was like a double room. It was
it
massive.
was massive. Yeah, it was
It
massive.
was crazy.
And shout out, there was no request for a handicap room from
Yeah,
a
yeah, we
handicapped
didn't
person.
steal it from
We
someone.
did not
It was
steal
an
it.
extra.
It was placed,
Yep.
and we gratefully
It
received
was
it.
an extra, and we didn't know really
We
until
did not.
when I, like, Googled the ship, I was like, "I think we're in a like, kind of a bigger room," and then when we got in, Chanel was like, "You guys, this is massive."
I was like,
It
this
was
is way bigger.
crazy. And we
Yeah,
were like, "Was there a mistake?" And they were like, "No, girl."
it was pretty crazy.
Oh,
And even when our room service got delivered last night, the a cruise employee was like, "Y'all's room is really big." And we are like, "Yeah, we know." So yeah, so all around just a great time. So book that cruise. Um, Jasmine, I feel like for anti-depressing Catholic news, maybe we should just share a little bit about on our cruise going to mass in
I think that's a
Nassau
great idea.
and how beautiful it was, and also one of the longest masses I've ever been to in my life,
I mean, classic.
perceivably.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, we walked 30 minutes through actual Nassau. Like, if you've been on a cruise, you know, you get dropped off and it's like cutesy, touristy. And then we got to actually like walk through the city, see how people lived, and then go to mass with a lot of cruising tourists, but also people who lived there. It was very awesome. And I know we talked to you a little bit. I don't know if the listeners know that you spent quite a bit of your childhood in Antigua, and we talked about kind of what that was like for you. So share a little bit about going to that mass, what it was like to like reconnect with your inner child, if you will, you know?
Oh my gosh, thank you. So it was I did grow up in Antigua, a large majority, so my whole family, my dad's side is from Antigua. So I spent a lot of years there every summer, and honestly, it was awesome walking around in Nassau. It was awesome just hearing the dialect from the people, and just going to mass with so many Black people was awesome. We do have some of those churches here as well in Florida, but not a ton. So it was really a cool experience. It was awesome to just walk around the city. I was telling the girls, like, if every place in the Caribbean, like in the West Indies, just feels familiar because it's just like kind of the same culture, different things obviously, but it just felt very familiar. So it was awesome to do that. Mass was really beautiful. The priest had a beautiful singing voice. I was just
Seriously? Actually, we never
we
talked about
never
that.
talked about that. And I honestly during mass I was like, he sounds like a beautiful adult choir man. Like
No, he was
he was on
amazing.
point. So
I
his voice
wanted
was
him to come
beautiful.
back on the ship for karaoke. Like,
Yeah.
he was incredible.
Yeah, he killed it.
So true.
So it was beautiful. It was a normal hour of Sunday mass, but it felt like it was 4 hours long. So
You
something
know what?
about
And it
it.
was like almost an hour and a half.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chanel
Okay.
leaned over to me some point in mass and she's like, something about us. We do not know when to stop
We
talking.
do not know when to stop talking. We will make a church experience the longest church experience you've ever had.
Yeah.
But
But, like,
it
you
was
didn't really even notice. The priest
you
was, like,
did
so
not.
engaging, everyone was so
Mhm.
happy, it was
Yeah.
I mean, half the people are on vacation, the other half of the people were, like, so excited to, like, welcome people that were on vacation, it was
Yeah.
so sweet,
It was really
so
sweet.
sweet.
And so it was just awesome to go to a local parish. And then we were able to just circle back, get some souvenirs, get some
Mm,
coffee,
some gelato.
yeah, some gelato. Jasmine got a latte with coconut
Yeah,
syrup, which honestly
yeah.
inspired me. And I was like, I might
Isn't
have
that
to.
so
It
good?
was so good, you
There's a
guys.
lot of coffee shops in Florida that do that, it's very popular, so
Okay, because I'm like, I'm gonna try because that was delicious. So all around you guys, the Sunday was gorgeous. And our antidepressant Catholic news is that the church is alive in other places besides where you live. And it might be worth to just kind of see how Catholics around the world
Look
celebrate
around.
our faith because it was
So true.
beautiful. So, for our stories, we kind of got a lot in a little bit of time. So, we're going to try to serve you guys with all of our favorites.
Yep, here we go.
We got we got 2 recaps and we got 1 announcement. So, firstly, the Oscars. Where did we watch it? What were we most excited about?
We took no pictures of us watching the Oscars from where
Which
we
is
did, which is a
criminal
crime.
because it sounds like we're about to lie. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Okay. We watched the Oscars from a hot tub on the cruise ship.
In the middle of the ocean.
In
Yeah.
the middle of the ocean, we were sailing
Yeah.
actively. We saw on the schedule, like, Sunday night, we're playing the Oscars on the pool deck, and you're like, "We already know where we're gonna be." And
Yeah.
so we camped out waiting for all the small children that were on this cruise to go to sleep so we could take over the hot tub. Took over the hot tub, watched the Oscars. It was amazing. Then, like, some other people joined, and they were like, I have theories about this movie, and, like, we saw this movie, and I was like, "Wow, they've seen so much more than us. This is so fun." And so we were, like, talking about who was gonna win things. It was just so fun. It's
It
been
was
a
so
long
fun.
time since we have even watched an award show together. Normally,
Mhm.
we're, like, texting about it, or the next morning, we're like, "Did you even stay up? This was crazy." But we, like, watched most of it, then we got kicked out for lightning, ordered a
Mm.
ton of room service, still watched the end of the Oscars. Like, it's been so long since we've been able to do that. So it was very cool. I will leave the awards recapping to you, my girl.
Thank you so much.
But the
So
vibes, top
the
tier.
vibes, elite. So yeah, so Jasmine did a good job of setting the tone. So all around, the hot tub, though, because we are humble women, the hot tub was freezing. So
Yeah,
we
don't
do,
think it's something it wasn't.
yeah. So we do want to be clear that it
Yeah.
was the coldest hot tub we've all ever been in.
Yeah, we were
Um,
shivering.
yeah,
I
but
don't
we, but we did just lean in to how iconic it felt.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why we stayed in it.
So
So
true.
a couple highlights from the Oscars. One, Ryan Coogler, Sinners director, Black Panther director, won Best Director, which which he made history actually for uh film cinematography, and he won Best Screenplay.
Okay.
Um,
Strong
and
word.
Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor for Sinners, which was just awesome because I feel like everyone was kind of rooting for him. Even like Leonardo DiCaprio, Timothy Chalamet,
Yeah,
everyone
it
was
was
just
great.
kind of, it was just really sweet and exciting. And everyone seemed happy that he won. Nobody seemed bummed out. I mean, I'm sure internally, but it was just really great to watch that. They had an awesome opening kind of show. They opened the show with like a Sinners montage
Yeah,
where
it's
they
so
sang
cool.
a song, and they had like Misty Copeland, who's a famous ballerina, and who had just had surgery and like was coming out of recovery for surgery. She like closed out the opening, which was really beautiful. Um, I was correct that Jessie Buckley did win Best Actress for
Yeah, you
Hamnet.
kind of predicted everything.
Because
Like,
of
roll
course
tape.
she did. Yeah, rewind the tape. We're just gonna pause for a second while we listen to me talk about how correct I am. So Jessie Buckley did win for Hamnet, and they had a beautiful tribute to Rob Reiner, who was tragically taken from us last year. And they tributed When Harry Met Sally, some of his other movies, and it was just really beautiful. And so, all around, the Oscars were a pretty good time. There were a lot of people that were cut off while in the middle of their speeches.
Yeah, it was
Um,
pretty intense. They
yeah.
got cutthroat.
Which was pretty intense. They were kind of like, "You guys need to stop talking."
Yeah,
Zendaya did make an appearance. I feel like when we see her, it's like seeing a rare flower that only blooms once a year.
I
Um,
know.
and she did make an appearance with Edward Cullen himself,
Yep.
because they are starring in a new movie, The Drama, which is coming out, which I am looking forward to watching that. So all around, it was just a good time. One battle after another, won a ton of awards.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just like a pretty good time. But most of all, I don't
It
even think I
was.
was really locked in to anything besides like us being in a hot tub on the ocean and
I know.
the room service we ate. That was
You
kind
know
of the
what?
highlight.
And normally you and I will, like, take notes during award shows to be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
this, like, phrase someone said was really cool," and, like, it might
Mhm.
not get a lot of publicity after, but we wanna talk about it. There were multiple things I remember turning to you and be like, "Oh, man,
Mm.
wish I could write that down." And
Mhm.
that felt like a testament to, like, actually nothing's that important. Like, did I get out of the hot tub, grab my towel, grab my phone, write it down? No, it wasn't that important. It wasn't that serious. There were a couple lines where we were like, "Oh, this was really sweet." They talked about, like, family, or they
Mhm.
talked about whatever. Who knows what those will ever be,
Who
and that's
knows?
okay, you guys. We don't have to you don't have to remember everything.
You
What a
don't
good
have to
lesson.
remember everything. Yeah,
I do
exactly.
remember us being very excited about Anne Hathaway coming out and kind of the teasers that
Yes.
were leading to The Devil Wears Prada 2 and how
Mhm.
excited we were about that. Also, I felt like the whole cast of Bridesmaid coming out, I was like, "Do you think we're gonna get something?" Because it
Honest
did feel very intentional, the placement of the people they were bringing up to announce awards.
honest to God, if we got another Bridesmaids, that would be amazing. With the
I know.
same cast. Don't try to reinvent the wheel
No,
because
don't
it
recast it.
Bridesmaids has been copied a million times over and never successfully
No
because
one
that
did it like
movie
they
is actually a no skip. I can just like that it's so funny. It's Kristen Wiig at her best. And so
so true.
so it was awesome to have them come out for sure. One thing that I do want to mention before we move to Mormon Wives recap
Yes,
is
please.
Jessie Buckley, who won for Hamnet, gave a speech and it was
Oh, yeah.
really sweet.
Oh, so true.
It was really sweet, and she, during the movie, she plays a mother, who loses her child and has to navigate that grief, and she also had a baby, like, 8 or 9 months ago. And so she shouted out her baby, which was very sweet, and she also shouted out, the rawness of a mother's heart, and it was just so beautiful, and her speech was so beautiful and great, and she shared that it was, Mother's Day in the UK, the day of the Oscars, and so it just felt like a really beautiful tribute to motherhood, which is already what that movie was, or is, and so that was just, like, really beautiful as well. Way to use the stage to just talk about something really, wonderful and important. So, I
It's
love
so
that
true.
moment.
Yeah, her, like, first one of her first lines was that it was Mother's Day in the UK and that she wanted to dedicate this award to the beautiful chaos of a mother's heart, and I just think that's, like, what a beautiful way to say that. I forgot we were really obsessed with that speech, you're so right.
Yeah, it was so
So
beautiful, and it was like, yeah, you're right, like, it's chaotic, but yeah,
but it's there, and
we
it's
love
all
it.
love.
So, yeah, so shout out to the Oscars for giving us some wonderful moments, and shout out to Royal Caribbean for having the coldest hot tub we've ever sat in our lives. Peace.
Thanks.
So we're going to move on to our second story, which is the real oh my gosh, I'm saying the Real Housewives of Mormon Lives. The
Honestly,
yeah,
it's what it is.
honestly, yeah. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives came out with
Yep.
a new season. I think the day before we left for the cruise.
Yeah.
And now it has been a couple days later and Jasmine already has completed it.
You know I
So
have.
please hit us with a recap and breaking news about an interesting figure in that show that we are going to see in another show
Of
in just a
course.
few days.
Okay, so God shined down on Delta Airlines the other day. I had, like, some flight delays, but because of that, I was just stuck in airports and on planes, and the Wi-Fi worked on all the planes, so I was hitting up Mormon Wives like it was my literal full-time job. Finished it. I have a handful of thoughts about the show in general. It's so intense, the amount that they show us. It's kind of crazy. But the bigger picture that I want to talk about is, as we know, Taylor Frankie Paul, kind of the leader of Mom Talk, if you will, which is what the group of Mormon wives is referred to as. She is the new Bachelorette, which is going to premiere this coming Monday. So any day now. And if you didn't see, after the Oscars, they showed, they recorded an episode of Before the First Rose, I think it was
Mhm.
called, with all the previous Bachelorettes, or at least most of them, and Taylor Frankie Paul, of her like asking what this is going to be like and them like giving her advice and telling them about their journeys. The crazy thing is, once you watch this season of Mormon Wives, the last episode is her, like, not making her flight because she says she, like, feels sick, can't do this, when we also know she just spent the last night with her ex-boyfriend, who is not a good person. But also seemingly throughout the season, I'm like, Taylor also is not the best person either. It's a real
Mm,
bummer, and they show a lot of her context in this season. She's, like, kind of on this hunt to rediscover information about her biological father, who she'd only met once. He had a lot of issues with substance abuse, was not a great dad. He really never even knew she existed until she was 4. They ran into each other once, she met him. So she's on this hunt to, like, figure out who he was. She's explaining that that kind of ties into how valuable she thinks she is, and it's just a really tragic season of her essentially feeling like she's not worthy of being the Bachelorette, like, they could have
mm,
chosen anyone, they shouldn't have chosen her. She feels like she deserves, because of the life choices she has made, to be in a relationship that is not healthy, and, like, to have someone who doesn't actually care about her and is gonna treat her poorly, like, she doesn't feel like she actually deserves a good man. And then it leads off and it's like, "Oh, she's pulling up to the mansion, I guess." Like,
mm.
she's FaceTiming her ex-boyfriend, who is the father of her youngest child, and saying like, "Okay, well, I have to get out of the car because they're gonna film me walking out, and so, like, I have to go." Well, meanwhile, we're filming Mormon Wives inside the car. She's gonna step outside of the car, and we're filming The Bachelorette. Like, when we say this girl is on 2 TV shows, like, she is on
Yeah,
2
when we
TV
say that we blinked
everything.
and she's on another screen.
Yeah,
Mhm,
everything she does is filmed. It's crazy. And
mhm,
so she is FaceTiming him and he's like, "Will you save a rose for me?" And she like kind of giggle. It's like so tragic the way they are addicted to each other. They both have struggled
mm.
with addiction in the past. They are clearly addicted to this cycle. And there was like a countdown where it's like, "Oh, it's how many hours until the first rose ceremony." And I never really realized when you watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, because to my knowledge, they had never showed us someone's lead up to being on the show the way that they just showed us Taylor, Frankie, Paul's. And
Mm-mm.
so my instinct was to be like, she's not ready to be on the show. This is insane. They shouldn't have let her be on this. But then I was like, wait a second. So many people could have been like that, and we don't know. So many people
Mm.
could have been like on the phone with their ex boyfriend pulling up to the man. Like, you don't really know.
You don't really know.
And, like, a lot of these marriages don't work out. And so it
Mm.
is begged to question. I think it's a bigger issue. I don't understand how, if you're choosing someone to be on this big of a stage, like to be the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, how, 1, they're not putting, like, therapy to prepare for it.
Word.
We're not processing childhood traumas. We're doing no psych evals. We're just, like, shooting our shot and asking someone who's really popular to be on this show. Maybe anyone that's already popular and famous wouldn't pass the psych evals and go through the therapy anyways,
You're
you
like,
know?
"You know
Like,
what? Honest to God, it's
who's
just
to say?
who's to say? It's
Who's to
not
say?
even gonna."
But
Yeah.
it's really crazy that they don't at least, like, get there weeks before to prepare for what
Mhm,
this journey's gonna be like, and I don't
mhm.
know if other people have, but her, like, landing and being like, "Alright, time to, like, go get dressed and ready to be the Bachelorette," is really crazy. I was very shocked by that whole situation. Now we know in present day, she is home from the Bachelorette, and her and Dakota both have issues with the law right now and are like in a domestic abuse situation. And nobody really knows anything about that. Actually, to my knowledge, there have been no police reports that have come out. It's just been like a source close to the couple. So I'm not going to speak much on that because the accusations they're like saying about one another,
Everything is
it's
alleged.
really crazy.
It's
It's all
giving a
very legend.
yeah.
None all of other Mormon wives are very quick to, like, talk on social media about other
Mhm,
people's stuff. Nobody has said anything about this, like, no one's touching
mhm.
this, but they reportedly stopped filming season 5 because it was so bad. Who knows? But is, to me, seeming like there is no way she's ending up with someone at the end of this season, and it kind of is a bummer that her life is on such blast that we're actually not getting the same, like, reveal. It's made me watching the season of Mormon Wives, I thought was gonna make me even more excited to watch the season of
It's made
Bachelorette.
you kinda bummed out.
Made me kinda bummed because 'cause I'm like, "What are we even watching?" She's gonna go and, like, tell all these men she's excited and ready to find love when she was just FaceTiming her ex-boyfriend. If I were one of these guys, like, I would be so angry when this season of Mormon Wives came out, the way that she's kind of so flippant about being the Bachelorette and how she just seems like she's not ready. I just think the whole thing is, like, it's pretty crazy to show it on TV, and I honestly just think it shows that The Bachelorette, weren't looking to, like, actually find her love, but they're getting a ton of attention because of this. So from a marketing standpoint, like, they really did it up, but from an actual, like, quote, unquote, "goal" of the show,
Mhm.
this is, like, kind of just a bummer.
This is kind of a bummer. So, at the end of the day, we're gonna see how this plays out because like
100%.
Jasmine said, it does premiere this week. Um, but am I looking forward to it? No. Did I say the same thing when they
Disappointed.
announced that she was a bachelorette?
Yeah, you were
Yes.
like, "This is gonna be kinda crazy."
Crazy. She, like,
It is. If
really.
anything, it is going to be probably entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
She is chaotic, it is insane, but it's going to be like good reality television, it's not going to be a good love show.
Mm.
Like, if you're
Mhm.
here hoping to just watch people fall in love
Mhm.
authentically, I think you should switch the channel,
I think
you
you
know?
should change the
But if
channel.
you wanna watch a girl yell at some guys, then, like, this is a great show for you.
Mhm.
But if nothing else, I hope that people watch her story and just realize how much your childhood trauma can influence the relationship decisions you make and how important it is to like seek therapy and know your worth. Like, this is a woman who has all the money in the world, all the attention in the world, all the fame in the world, to the point that she's the bachelorette and she still doesn't feel like she's worthy of love. And like,
Ooh.
there's a lesson in there for all of us to like process through and understand that like God made us, and God made us good, and God made us worthy of love, and it's, like, sad when people don't believe that about themselves.
And Jasmine is clocking that tea. Something about Jasmine is
Mhm.
she'll say, "Hey, actually, mm-mm, no, you gotta get it together and you gotta realize you're worth it." So, she's like, "Stop lying and just realize you're worth it." So Taylor, Frankie, Paul, we wish you the best. We know that you're
Really
probably not
praying
gonna
for you
end
and your
up with a
family,
boo.
so
Really
crazy.
are. Really praying for your little baby son, really praying for your other kids because it
Yep,
just seems like you guys are really going
it
um,
does.
and praying that you get the help you need. Maybe this isn't your journey to love, but maybe this will be your journey to a love of yourself. So maybe
There
that's
we
what this
go.
is. Yeah.
Some
If
good
not
hope.
a love from a man, a love from yourself. Also, I do want to say if anyone can hear, my laundry machine is going off
She's
every
yelling at you.
30 seconds. And I am currently recording in my office, so I cannot run to my laundry room.
No,
Um,
it's okay. Let it
Okay.
ring.
Okay, let it ring. Let the bells of Chanel's laundry ring. So yes, so it is pretty loud. So for our final story, we do want to talk about a woman who does seem like she has processed a lot of her childhood. Um, so much so that she's willing to bless others that have benefited from her childhood and things that she has offered us. So, we want to talk just a little bit about the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special, which will be premiering on March 24th, which is exactly
Wow, this is so soon.
which is exactly 20 years after the first episode of Hannah Montana dropped. Which is beautiful because I
That is
remember exactly where I
great.
was and crazy because we are so old. Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special, there was a trailer that dropped, and Miley Cyrus was in Hannah Montana accoutrements lore. Blonde wig, cute outfit, walked through the halls of her high school, and then walked into a bunch of recreated sets before at the end she said, "Cue the best of both worlds." And then she sang a little bit of the best of both worlds.
It's like the old version and she's mouthing it, or did they re-record it?
It's the old version. So it's like, yeah, it's
Oh my
it's
gosh.
it's giving nostalgia. So the special is on March 24th, and it is going to feature behind the scenes, reunions with other cast members. So far, the only person she has really confirmed is Billy Ray, of course. Um,
Kind of shocking
which
given their
is also kind
relationship.
exactly, which is also kind
They're
of
really
shocking.
setting it all aside for us, huh?
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? She must have had to process some of that like drama.
Wow.
So thank you, Miley, for processing that for our sake. So
For
Billy
real.
Ray is kind of making a return. And so I hope that they're good, you know. Who knows? But something about me is I will watch that special. And the only other person that she has confirmed is that Selena Gomez will be in the special because Selena Gomez did play a pop star named Michaela during the show that like was kind of like Miley's enemy or Hannah
Yes.
Montana's enemy. And so Michaela will be making her way back. Um,
How
and
random of
and I
all the people.
yeah,
You know what, though? Of all of the child actors, she's in a pretty good headspace and,
she
like,
is.
culturally, popularity-wise, people still kinda ride for Selena, so it was a really smart choice. Like, you
Mhm.
didn't pick someone who's really fallen off the deep end.
Yeah.
Though I do think Jesse McCartney, the Jonas Brothers, I do think there should be some, reappearances of what we all are looking for. I think she should have another, like, what does she say? "Sweet niblets with the Jonas Brothers," or whatever.
Oh, sweet niblets.
I
Oh.
just I don't know.
Oh,
They're not doing it. They are ready to be booked.
they're ready
If
to be
Disney
booked.
asks, they're
Yeah.
there,
And
you know?
honestly, I do.
So
So if we're gonna even talk about people that we hope make an appearance,
yeah,
Jesse McCartney would be iconic.
so
The
iconic.
Jonas Brothers would be iconic. Like that
I
that
know.
that whole lore
Like,
lasted for
sing "We Got
so
the Party
long.
with Us,"
Oh,
bring Demi out. Like, do honestly, bring them all.
you know,
Bring 'em
the
all.
only other thing that would make it awesome is if she just brought out Selena, Jonas, Demi, and they just sang "Send It On."
I
I
knew what you were gonna go
like,
for, and I'm
that would
so there.
just be iconic. That has nothing to do with Hannah Montana, but yet it has everything to do with Hannah Montana.
Yeah, this is just morphing into what we desire for a Disney reunion show, which we've talked about before, and I'm sorry to put all that on you, Hannah, but it doesn't feel like we're getting anything else. But maybe this and the culture's reaction to it will
Mm,
encourage them to like bring back the Disney Channel games, like just bring them all back. Keep it coming, you know?
yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens from this. It's a very hopeful moment.
It is a very hopeful moment in kind of a mildly weird world, kind of
Yeah.
very extremely weird world. We need this hope. So, a quote from Miley, she said, "The fact that that still means so much to people all these years later is something I'm very proud of." She continued, "This anniversary is my way of celebrating and thanking fans who stood by me for 20 years." And honestly, you didn't have to do this, Miley, but you did it for us.
She did it for us. And I
And
just
I
want to
just love
say, in 20 years, I'll be sat for the 40th. Like I'm in it. I am in it, you know?
it. We are in our 50s and we are sitting on the couch.
That
Yeah.
we are
Mhm.
popping it to the
Yeah,
best of both worlds. Like
we are popping it.
I'm prepared.
And our kids who at that point are probably, like, flying on little machines controlled
So
by
true.
robots, they're
They'll
gonna be
also be
like,
dancing.
"What is Miley Cyrus?" And we
No,
will
we
have
need
to
to teach
share.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to teach the younger generation.
It's essential to pass this down to your children.
It really, really is. So, God bless Miley Cyrus. God bless Robbie Ray. Um, and God bless Michaela and everyone else. I do hope that Brooke Shields comes back. Remember she played like she was like Miley's mom or something that passed away? I kind of
Yeah,
like
didn't she, like, kind of ghost appear in an episode,
yeah,
or
she like ghost
she, like,
appeared.
wished on a star and saw her mom? I don't know,
Yeah.
something,
Like I feel
you're
like
really right. Also, is Dolly Parton gonna be there as her aunt?
who is in real life her godmother.
Yeah, I
I
kinda forgot how crazy that show was.
honest to God, I am excited for it. March 24th, you guys. Tune in, Disney Plus. This is not sponsored by Disney Plus, but tune in. In that note, on that note, we do have to love you and leave you. But we really thank God because in many ways the world can be pretty scary and upsetting, but thank God. Thank God.
We and Hannah Montana are not. Thank God. Have a great day, you guys. I hope you have the most fabulous weekend.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.